What's up, everybody? Andrew here with Astro Trends, taking a look at Gamestop today. If you're new to the channel, what we do is combine astrological forecasting with traditional trend analysis to speculate on price movements in crypto and stock markets. So diving in here, we had another down day. We dipped back down to this 100 EMA. Kind of disappointing to see another down day, but as long as we're holding this area, that's looking good. We did get faked out up here. We thought we had our double bottom in from June 21st and the 25th when we came down to this 196 price level. But then we ended up dipping further down again. I'm going to jump down to the hour chart. So these are targets that we dropped in a couple weeks ago. We were looking for our bottom around July 9th. If this does end up being a double bottom, looks like we put this slap dab in the middle of this double bottom here. And we had a July 12th target to begin to see an uptrend. That's now been negated, ended up just being a high point in the middle of two low points. But if we do hold here, then everything is looking good for our July 16th target to really start seeing an uptrend. And these targets are based on astrological indicators, configurations, and transits that we'll get into in the second half of the video in a minute here. There's not much else to say about this chart that we haven't already covered. We're below the moving averages on the daily still. That's our first step for reclaiming an uptrend. And we are starting to get pretty extended from some of them. We're well below the 50 here. The 9 is still pushing us down. But if this is going to be our bottom and the astrological indicators are showing that we should be seeing uptrend out here, then we should see ourselves like kind of just spearing right through a couple of these, kind of like a spring. This fine, we had this. This is almost like a downward wedge, but then we just kind of dumped off of it. It's just kind of, I don't know, the price just fell off here. But from this point to here, this may work as a kind of spring for this upper price action that we're anticipating, that a lot of people have been anticipating for a while here. So let's go ahead and jump into the astrology. This is July 13th, around market open. We started the day off with a moon opposite Venus, also square Saturn. The negative influence of Saturn clearly won out. We had this. Let's see, let's take a look. Yeah, so right off of the opening, we had a dump here, and then we just kept dumping. Not really like a dump, but a pretty significant dip. And as we move throughout the day, yeah, that Saturn transit became exact. Saturn's almost always a bearish signal, unless the configuration suggests it can put it in the context of support or resistance. Let's see, this is getting into tomorrow at market open. We got a square to Pluto, which can also be pretty bearish. But Pluto, Moon to Pluto transits actually don't always play out much in the charts. They're not actually reflected. Energetically, though, from an astrological perspective, Pluto would be a pretty negative thing for price action, but I see it. I more often see it not play out than actually play out. We're also opposite the moon here, but that's past exactness. So let's jump forward another day. We finally get some relief with a moon trine Mercury on the 15th, which is Thursday. At the same time, we get this Mercury conjunct Jupiter. So the 15th is really a key day this week to start to see, or to have seen already, an uptrend forming and some of those moving averages being broken, because this is just too nice of a configuration. If we don't see, if we're still dipping by Thursday, my outlook is going to be pretty bearish, because these are really good indications. And then going into the weekend, we have Venus closing in on our Sun-Venus midpoint spot here, still like 7 degrees out. But as these transits approach, we should see, you know, that's when Venus hits this, let's see, 24 degrees. As it approaches like 28 degrees, that more often indicates or marks the top of an impulsive wave. So by the time it actually gets here to these later degrees of Leo, we should already be seeing the uptrend. And as we go into next week, the Sun closes in on this opposition to Mercury. So we have like 3 major configurations over the next week. So ultimately, if we're not seeing an uptrend by the end of this week, I'm going to be bearish. I'm going to be looking for some explanation in the Astrology. I'll definitely have some videos out, but still optimistic at this point, especially if we hold this support here tomorrow. If we do dip lower into this zone, we want to see a close above this level, above this 178 to get this double bottom in here. If we close lower, it's possible we could spring back up. But if we're still down here by Thursday, I'm going to be reassessing my positions and my stance on GameStop at this point. Not financial advice, as always, but if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and keep a lookout for those updates, especially those key updates this week. Thanks.